Betrayal and murder, a chilling crime in America. He kills the victim and then mourns at the funeral. This saying perfectly describes Rebecca Wilson. When you see her, you'll understand the meaning of crocodile tears. The case of Senator Jonathan Collins became one of the most talked about crimes in the United States, not just because the victim was a high-profile political figure, but because the crime itself felt like a suspense movie, combining betrayal, witchcraft, and a meticulously planned murder. A murder that shocked America. In March 2017, the city of Los Angeles woke up to shocking news. Senator Jonathan Collins, a 50-year-old politician, was found murdered in his car in front of his luxurious home. He had been shot 3 times, twice in the head and once in the chest. Law enforcement arrived quickly, along with forensic teams and federal investigators. From the angle of the gunfire and the precision of the shots, it was clear that the killer was a professional, possibly a sniper, a hitman, or even an expert hunter. At the same time, Rebecca Wilson, Collins' wife, arrived at the crime scene with her 3 children. Strangely, she had not been at home when the murder occurred, but was staying at her parents' house just 10 minutes away from the villa. When she saw her husband's body, she collapsed, screaming and crying hysterically in front of everyone. The first clues in the guard's testimony. The police reviewed security camera footage from the gated community. The cameras captured a black Ford sedan approaching Collins' home just before the murder. Unfortunately, the license plate was unclear, and the tinted windows prevented identifying the passengers. However, a key witness came forward, a security guard in the neighborhood. He testified that at 10:00 p.m., he saw Collins return home and wait in his car for the garage door to open. Suddenly, a black car pulled up next to him, the rear window rolled down, and 3 gunshots were fired. The car then sped away. Rebecca's suspicious testimony. While most people describe Collins as a kind and generous man, Rebecca's statement was the only one that deviated from the norm. She told investigators that she suspected only one person, Ethan Peterson, the brother of Collins' fiancée. This revelation was a shocking twist. Investigations confirmed that Collins had been engaged to a young woman named Catherine Peterson, the daughter of one of his longtime friends. When Catherine's brother Ethan found out, he was furious, accusing Collins of taking advantage of his younger sister. But as the police delved deeper, they discovered that Ethan had an airtight alibi. He was in San Francisco with his friends at the time of the murder, supported by witness statements and video evidence. This meant that Rebecca's accusation was a deliberate attempt to mislead the police. Suspicious behavior. As the case gained nationwide attention, the police noticed several strange behaviors from Rebecca. She withdrew a large sum of money, $60,000, just 2 days after the murder. She visited the real estate office to confirm her ownership of Collins' properties and attempted to transfer the rest of his assets to her name. This behavior was highly unusual for a grieving widow who had just lost her husband. Upon further investigation, detectives discovered that Rebecca had not been at home on the night of the murder and had even asked her daughter to call her father to check when he would be home. Almost as if she was trying to time something perfectly, a mysterious connection to a man named David. After monitoring Rebecca's phone records, investigators found that she was in daily contact with a man named David Myers, a well-known political advisor in California. However, he was also a skilled hunter with a popular YouTube channel showcasing his hunting expertise. As detectives looked into their relationship, they uncovered a shocking truth. Rebecca and David were having a secret love affair. This revelation placed David directly under suspicion, especially when investigators searched his home and found a hunting rifle, the same type of weapon used in Collins' murder, hidden under his bed. The phone call that revealed everything. While interrogating David, police noticed that his phone was ringing continuously. It was Rebecca. At first, they didn't allow him to answer, hoping to increase her anxiety. But when they finally let him take the call under police supervision, what they heard changed everything. "I'm scared, David. I think they're going to find out that we did it." That single sentence sealed her fate. Rebecca was arrested immediately. At first, she denied everything, but detectives used a psychological trick. They told her that David had confessed and blamed her. Under pressure, Rebecca broke down and admitted to the crime. However, she tried to shift the blame, claiming that David was the one who executed the murder. The murder plot Witchcraft and manipulation. The investigation revealed that Rebecca's affair with David wasn't the only shocking element. She had also sought the help of a woman named Madison Cooper, a well-known fortune teller and occultist in Los Angeles. Rebecca went to Madison hoping to use witchcraft to keep her husband from marrying Catherine. However, the police uncovered another shocking connection. Madison Cooper wasn't just any fortune teller, she was David's half-sister. Their plan was to eliminate Collins, allowing Rebecca to marry David. Then once she was in control of Collins' fortune, David and Madison would manipulate her into giving them the wealth. How the crime was executed. 1. Rebecca leaked Collins' intimate photos with Catherine, knowing it would trigger a violent reaction from her brother Ethan, making it look like a revenge crime. 2. David rented a black car identical to Ethan's to confuse investigators. 3. Nicholas, David's nephew, was the getaway driver, paid a large sum for his role. 4. David fired the shots that killed Collins, then went on a hunting trip to cover up his rifle's traces. 5. After the crime, Nicholas fled to Mexico to hide. The final verdict. After an intense investigation, all those involved were arrested, and the court sentenced them as follows. David Myers, death penalty. Rebecca Wilson, life in prison. Nicholas Myers, 30 years in prison. Madison Cooper, 20 years in prison. And so, one of America's most bizarre and intricate murder cases came to a close. A case filled with betrayal, witchcraft, and a perfectly planned crime that was ultimately undone by a single phone call.